the worst one yet. Like, it definitely went, like, pretty decent to, oh my god, you gave me 3 parts and one of them was master, to 1 weak rivet, and that was it. That was pretty lackluster and terrible. We need the discs. We need the fire Prismere disc. I want to say it's like Prismere burning disc or something like that is what it's called. Something to that effect. Let's put it that way. So we have the Prismere frost disc. Prismere flame disc and Master Blood Sequels Hander. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Didn't need any of the parts or the nitty-gritty stuff for the weak stuff. Got 1 master and a Prismere disc. Okay, so we don't want any of this. No one cares about any of this. We do need to break down. We have 2 of the hoods, so we could actually realistically do this twice and not really care. Oh, look. Instantly got the truss to a head truss. Just what I wanted. Got another one. Cool with that. There's only 1 more piece we gotta break down. Strings, nothing. Nope. So, that's kind of the nice thing about this game. If you can't find the pieces you need, which are a little bit easier than it sounds, like I've found some good masterpieces, scavenging, looting, stealing. I found some decent pieces. But if you find a piece of armor that's not purple or gold, has to be white, green, or blue, and only if you're a certain blacksmith level, can you do the blue? Then you can break it apart and you have a chance to get that stat on one of the pieces. Now it's random. You might get it on, a different piece than you were hoping for, and each, really what you have to pay attention to is the weapon that has it or the piece of armor that has it, and the parts it takes to make that piece of weapon or armor, because those are the parts you're going to be able to get out of the salvage. And it has a random chance of that stat being on a specific part. It'll never be on the base, and it'll never be on, the other parts are kind of split between which ones do what. And what you can do is, like I said, you can basically go into the create, and when you create, it'll show you all the different parts it takes to create it. So you have a chance of getting one of those parts with the stat that you're looking for. So if you need a particular part to have a particular stat, that's a little bit different, because some parts can't have that stat, some kind of do. Some are kind of like beeline to, like in the armor category, for example, if it has some really cool like resistances and stuff, you probably won't get that on one piece. One piece is dedicated to like armor enhancement, and then there's another piece for like elemental stuff. There we go. Dreadstone braces and novice strings. That's fine with me. And I don't care about any of that stuff. So that's exactly what we wanted. So we will go ahead and save before we play with looking at what any of this stuff can make. See if anything can make something decent. Because in our weapons and our secondary, so yeah, so I forgot about that. I forgot that I have these that are like 157, like do a lot of damage. 54 and 73 is a huge amount of damage. What we'll do is we'll put those on for the second just so we can compare. So let's craft. So let's craft chakrams with the pretty flame disc. And that already has better everything. So I guess what I want to do, since we already know that that has better everything. Yeah, so it already does like 80 some burning damage. So that was 54 and 73, 54 and 73, 54 and 73. Okay, so the fire damage is actually weaker. Not by much. Not enough for it to matter. Let's see what we got here. We got that's the Bloodseeker thing that we were looking at. We'll be able to add bleeding damage and then we can talk. Okay, so over here we have poison damage. This has better poison damage. We did put critical hit on that. We did not put critical hit on theirs. We did put health regen. We did not put health regen, but we got a chance to steal health, which is close to the same thing. And we didn't do critical hit damage. So, okay, so there's a few things. So we'll wait on making these because there's a few things that I'd rather get. So let's look at the Fey Blades. So if we do Prismere Fey Blades with poison damage, sounds cool, unless I can do something else. Bleeding damage isn't bad. Critical hit's not bad, but I'd rather just have 14% straight damage. Then we can increase the bleeding damage. Okay, so there's the gem for bleeding damage. We do an insane amount of bleed damage. What we'll probably do instead yeah, we'll do more poison damage. Since that bleeding damage is so weak. We'll do poison here. Full damage here. Bleeding here. Not against that. And bleeding there. So if we compare them over, let's see. More damage, more physical and piercing. This does ice damage and a chance to steal mana. These are going to do the bleeding damage that we've needed. With extra bleeding damage. It's going to do poison damage and it's going to increase damage by 21% overall. So that's going to give us the poison and the bleed, and the bleed skill that we have is finally going to be of use. Yes. Let's craft. What do you call these? No, I got a better idea. Let's do Flush. Works anyway. We're gonna call these flesh eaters. Because they do bleed damage and poison damage, and strong enough to pretty much take out anything. Cool. Let's take a look at these guys. Now, they're not gonna look as cool as my current ones, but that's okay. We're gonna keep these on us anyway. Yeah, so they have the poison animation by default, which is awesome. So yeah, so they do 59 physical, 35 piercing, which is the same as these, but they do 21% extra damage, 15% extra bleed damage, 33% more poison damage on top of the poison damage I already have on my skill, and 20 bleeding damage plus 15% bleeding damage, which is going to trigger. I'll actually show you guys what we're talking about here under the finesse tree. So this skill, which I haven't been using because I haven't had it, is each hit against a bleeding enemy, so they have to be bleeding, has a 15% chance to do 200 bonus damage. So literally every hit, I have like a 1 in 6 shot to do even more bleed damage. To do more damage every so again, it's all those things that add up, you know. So the crit damage plus the bleed damage plus the poison damage plus more poison damage plus more bleeding damage plus more infection and stunning against poison enemies, all those things continuously stack so that every hit I have a chance of doing a lot more damage than the default. So even though the Fey Blades themselves are not one of the strongest weapons by default, you add all these things in, and the fact that the Fey Blades hit so often because you're spinning and doing all that stuff and you can hit large crowds of individuals, what you end up in essence doing is supercharging your DPS. So your damage per second goes through the roof because every hit has the chance to do even more damage. And you can see it. You can see when I just like mow through enemies and things. So we'll keep those on for a little bit. Now let's craft. Let's save it related. Go ahead and save real fast, and then I'm going to craft. See if we can craft some pants and a new headpiece. Cybertreads to wear leggings now. So we have a +4 armor, 20 poison, plus 25 of those is pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. Plus 25% melee block efficiency, range block, and magic block efficiency. I do like extra health. That's always nice. That for now. Magic. Shield my pants before I did this. I don't like bleeding. More bleeding. Lightning damage. 12% health is nice. Oh, and just 35 straight up armor. Okay, so... okay, so the reason I kept these is mostly because the gold drops and the critical hit damage, so these do critical hit damage by default. Now they're going to give me all those bonuses plus health and regen. I have a lot of other things doing health and regen though, so let's see if we can. Okay, so we know we want that because that's the only thing useful in this tree. Okay, damage match not useful. Fire's not useful. Chance to critical hit is not bad. Piercing damage is good because it's what our Fey Blades do. Yeah, let's do piercing damage. And then we might just do 15% poison damage. Nothing else is better. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Because our health never gets touched anyway. So, more damage instead is better. So let's do that. Yes, we're changing 10% physical damage, 10% piercing damage. That's what my Fey Blades do. We're keeping the critical. We're changing up to 5% gold because I don't need gold, and I don't use that ability anyway. So confirm. Let's craft. What are we gonna call these bad boys? Let's do. Yeah, let's just go with a default name. Let's just do Dread Scale leggings. It's gonna make us at least look better because that's gonna be nice. Okay, so armor. Yeah, that's gonna match better. Still like these, but I definitely want Dread Scale stuff to go there instead. They have huge bonus. If I can find other pieces of that set, that would be sweet. So I guess the other one was the gloves, right? We got some Dread Scale mitts. Okay, perfect. Poison. I don't really need immunity. Let's go with 20% across the boards. Probably go with the regen, right? Like nothing else really. Yes, what was I using? I was using a 20% armor. Ooh, I'm gonna need that back. I'm definitely gonna need that back. So yeah, we got the same 15%. We may have to break these down and then... Yeah, we might have to break them down. Just to get that armor piece. Because, I mean, that's the biggest benefit here. The rest of it's okay, like the chance to crit hit is good. The 80 is going to be the same. Yeah, let's bring him down. Even he's only having 80 health and a 20 bleeding resistance. I need to create another armor. Gem. Another armor gem. Actually, I need two. Armor utility, those are what can go on the heads or the arms. Wish it told you. Wish there's a little like path thing that actually told you what goes on each piece, you know what I mean? Thankfully for me, there is a sage crafting bench in here.
Hello.
Here's my favorite one. These just give resistances otherwise. And we're going to do a couple of utilities. Chance to crit. 7% chance to crit, still. There we go. That looks better. Okay. So let's go ahead and make one epic gem just in case it can be used. Unlock finesse abilities. That would be cool. Let's go and do that. Eight. here. Let's talk to you.
This is the same. If you want general goods, you should speak to Master Gwalchmay over there.
I will, because they might have a backpack upgrade now that I think about it. 15% critical hit damage with physical. Didn't want to do that. I could probably sell those. No, because I didn't make those yet. I really wish you could hold down on this thing. It would be nice. What did I just buy? Oh, I actually think it's all the way at the bottom now that I remember correctly. Hold on, it's gonna take forever. We are not doing that. We're gonna do this instead. Yeah, definitely don't want that. Yeah, no real good gems coming out of this guy. We will buy these though, because those are hard to come by. Who's the seller, you said?
Oh, he's been very good to me. I knew my gems were good, but they wouldn't seem to sell in a market stall. They do better here.
I bet they do. What do you think of this town?
Oh, it's so lovely. The Lunar Gardens. Not that I've seen much else of the world. Have you? Oh, I'd be terrified to go so far.
We know about stagecrafting.
It takes great concentration. You can get lost in the work. I like that.
Okay. Who's Will?
I can't tell if he's lazy or clever, but he gets away with so much for his age.
I know a lot of people like that.
You have come to Gwalchmay's goods, provisioner to all Rader, to high and low, great house and sparrow alike.
Okay. What do you have for sale? Ooh, look, more chakras. Not what I need, though. Really? Not a backpack or anything? I mean, that kind of sucks. I was expecting at least a backpack or something. Who are you?
Humble servant to great house, sparrow and soldier alike. Women and men in want of things make their way to Gwalchmay's goods.
The backpacks. What do you mean by great house?
The great families of Rader, of course, as rich in power as in gold. Visit the upper city and see them yourself. Worth the climb, if you ask me.
Okay. What do you do with sparrows?
They are the rag pickers and dust grubbers of the city. Mind you, I don't let them in the front door. Appearances, not to mention odors.
Nice. What do you know, Will?
Yes, what about him? I sent him on an errand and I'm still waiting.
Good times. You know anything about the Philandrafari?
Him? No one knows his real name. Got that name from the way he talks. Some say he was next to the Archsage once, up Spire Top. Then a spell went wrong, or his lover fell to her death. Whatever it was, broke him, it did.
That's the second time we've heard that exact statement, so I'm curious. What about the town?
I could tell you a thing or two about this city. Did you know, for instance, that Faldra'Nefari ate the 5th memorial stone? Cast a spell and ate it. I could say a thing or two about Wyvern Gif as well, if I didn't fear the consequence.
And who is that?
The Wyverns had a claim of their own, mind you. But their marriage to Gif, a scandal. I know the truth of it, but I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, come on. I like deets. Give me some history here. What about the monuments?
The first 4 are easy enough to find about the city. But the 5th, few know the truth of it. Very good, then.
Well, you're dull. Can I read this? What does it say? Louse-ridden, sheep-stabbing, good-for-nothing, two-faced, cadaverous, mongrel, toothless, god-cursed, pus-bloated, wretched excuse for a penny-maundering Sneak of a brigand's bastard, snot-nosed whelp, you have yourself a deal. I know it's not whiffing. That was a lot. A lot going on there. Nothing good to steal. Didn't even have lockpicks. Like, no lockpicks, no backpacks, no nothing useful. So much for all-around merchant type guy. I was expecting more, to be honest. Still is another place we haven't gone yet. Another cellar location, I should say. Go ahead and save, because I think I do want to break down one more piece while we're dealing with this. We're going to break down the gloves I made and see if I can get that 20% increase back. So we're looking for the 20% armor increase. Greater armored string, maybe? %, armor. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. It's actually exactly what we wanted. Alright, we already know we want to do poison damage. We want to do that 20%er. And then we want to do any critical hit stuff, fire damage. %, health probably isn't bad. Let's do the 80% health instead. And then we can either give it more armor or chance to crit it. Let's do chance to crit it. I like the idea of that. So poison, armor, health, and chance to crit hit sounds good. We don't have anything catchy to do with these, so we'll just do the same thing we did with the other piece.